Today, I want to share with you guys 3 techniques that are going to be thrown outside the regular range. Normally, we're taught on a front kick, bring the leg up, extend almost to full extension, and then at the end, hit them and snap through. But what if we could do this from a tighter distance? What if we can throw a hook from a really long distance when somebody goes, okay, we're blocking straight punches, I'm safe from the hook, but then you come around right behind the ear. This is what we're talking about today, range adjustments for some basic techniques. I think one of the skill sets that is required to reach that more advanced stage in striking is being able to throw this same technique in so many different ways. You can do it from in tight, you can go from far, you can go head off the center line, you can make all these small adjustments. So let's start off and let's talk about the front kick as our initial technique in which we're going to change range. Normally a front kick is thrown outside of punch range, which makes it easy for us to come up and extend the leg. But what happens if we're right in here, where we're almost glove to glove, we could be even glove to glove, or we're just outside of range? All of a sudden, yes, I can throw my knee, but my front kick, when I bring it up to here, it's already gonna feel jammed, and I'm not gonna be able to get that extension on it. I've actually been hit by Josh Johnsey many times with this technique I'm going to share with you. I've landed it many times in sparring. It works great. What you do is you bring your leg out to the side so you're not jamming it against your opponent. You bring it out to the side and you bring the heel, not straight to the stomach, but the heel off to the side. When that heel digs in, because it's such a small surface area that is striking your body, it hurts so much. So I come from here, I bring my knee up kind of to the side and I jam the heel right in the middle, or sorry, right on the side of their body, just like that. And I can keep my hands up and stay super safe. I don't have to be like, okay, front kick the way I might normally. Don't do that. Keep your hands right here, lift it up. They might not even see it coming because they're so distracted by, okay, hands are the main priority at this tight range, and then boom, right into there. It can be done a little further away as well. You don't have to be right glove to glove. It could be a little step back where still you feel like, okay, I'm gonna get jammed here. And then you just come in and strike with that heel right into the side of the body. Unpleasant. And I can tell you from experience, a surprise. You don't think you're gonna be hit with a leg at that distance, and all of a sudden, smack, you're hurt. The next one I wanna talk about is how to get behind somebody's tight Dutch guard. When you're in this position, and somebody's throwing straight punches at you, you go, okay, I'm pretty safe. Because they're throwing straight punches, and when you're thinking about straight punches, you're not thinking about, oh, a hook coming behind the ear. But if we can change up our technique in that hook, all of a sudden, yes, we can go straight punch, and land behind the ear, or just behind the glove. What I like to do, you have 2 options here, but the one I prefer, I feel like it has more power, is I take my hand from this position and I flip it. This allows me now to get a very strong arm here. I'm not bringing it in like this. I'm clubbing this whole arm, tight shoulder, tight bicep, tricep, tight forearm, squeezing the fist, land with the knuckles, double jab, boom, right behind the ear. Can't tell you the number of times in sparring this has landed and people after go, how did you keep hitting me behind the ear? Like, you were at this range where I didn't think you could land. Alternatively, you can do that off the lead arm. 1, 2, really long hook, but again, flipping it gives you that extra power. I find that coming here is just more of an open hand slap and it doesn't really work as well. Plus, if you see my angle here, I'm gonna land with more of a straight arm, whereas when I do this, I get this little bit more of a bend. This is a little straighter, this is a little bit more bent, so I can come around the guard and not have my elbow connect on them. My favorite way is double jab, boom, big right hook behind the guard, but the structure of this arm, the tenseness of the muscles is what makes it really effective. I've seen Floyd Mayweather do the other way where he'll double jab and then he'll come behind somebody's guard with just a boom, just a slap. He kind of whips it in. It almost does look like if he didn't have a glove on, it would just be a slap. Just double jab, smack. But again, he's coming really long on it. So play around with your hooks. Don't always go, oh, I have to be tight and throwing here. you can be way back here and you can flip your hand over European style and use the top of those knuckles to get behind the guard. The last one that we're going to talk about today is executing the low kick from a super tight range, where if you did the classic sort of kick like this coming around, it would almost be the top of your knee hitting their thigh. But what we want to do is we want to change the angle, the trajectory of this kick, and not flex our leg completely straight. We're going to bring it in bent. So I can keep my hands up here and boom, end up landing right to the front of their thigh, which again, I can tell you from experience, has a different pain sensation. We get very conditioned to the side, and then somebody drops a shin in, and instead of it being slappy, kind of boom, it's all of a sudden like a thud, boom. And it hits and it hurts a whole heck of a lot. And again, because we're in this tight range here, throwing hands, people don't usually have their legs quite as tense as they should be for the low kick. So if you can drop that shin right in, just thud like this, boom, keep your hands up, stay protected. You can really hurt somebody. Generally, I think this works best orthodox to orthodox or southpaw to southpaw, and working exclusively off your back leg. It does not work well off the front. If I tip back, I'll go for more of a snap, but for this actual thud, we drop in, boom, and we're making sure that we don't rotate our hips and get this hip really far forward as we normally might. We might, boom, turn all the way. We're staying fairly square with our body and boom, just dropping straight in. And you can see my hands don't leave my head, and I'm not getting that compromised position. So all of these done at different ranges than normal. The front kick done more jammed, the low kick again done more jammed, and the hook done a lot longer. Like I said at the beginning of the episode, it's only advanced people who are going to start actually utilizing these things in sparring. Changing range for the same technique makes it very difficult for the guy on the other side, because a lot of times if he goes, okay, we're at jab range, I'll just worry about the straight punches. They close off, all of a sudden you're coming behind the head. Then he goes, okay, I'm in tight and I don't have to worry about kicks. I'm just gonna protect my head, and all of a sudden these kicks are coming in and hitting him. Once you do this, your skill level is just gonna skyrocket in sparring. You're gonna become so unpredictable. So try these out, get them on the bag first, try them out with some partners in drilling, and then eventually you can get into sparring and hopefully execute these. Those are your 3 tips, 3 techniques for today, guys. Thanks for joining. As always, train hard. I'll see you back here soon for another video.